Hello guys, welcome to the Danial channel. I'm your host, the Dashing One Daniel himself, and today this will be, well, the aftermath and my results for WWE Evolution and for WWE Crown Jewel, and also we will be talking about the upcoming Survivor Series that's coming this Sunday. So first of all guys, I know it's been 3 weeks since that prediction that I done for Evolution and Crown Jewel. I did alright with the prediction. I mean, I don't remember who did I voted for, but you know, if you guys already watched the predictions of what I've done for Crown Jewel and Evolution, let me know in the comments below who did I went for, and if you had your predictions back there before this whole show started. So let me know how it is. I know it's late that I'm doing the result, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So first up, we're gonna go through the Evolution. Now I don't need my mobile phone for any of it because I can remember how the show went. Now I'm not gonna say them in order, so I'm gonna try just saying each and every match. Some matches were really announced last minute, okay, because of course I did my predictions like 1 week before the event even happened, so I didn't miss like a few matches that were announced during that last 1 week before the event started. So first off, we're gonna talk about the NXT Championship first, between Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. Yes, it was a grueling match. It was a grueling match, like seriously. Both women, Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler, gave it all they had. They did a couple finishers against each other. They did very well, you know, reversing move after move after move. But in the end, guys, it was indeed Shayna Baszler with the, if I wasn't mistaken, the Kimura lock. No, wait first. The rear naked choke. Sorry, rear naked choke that, well, kind of made Kairi Sane pass out, which allows Shayna Baszler to become a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. So congratulations. I don't know if I chose Shayna Baszler. I think I did, because I did say I was going for Kairi Sane, but I was still thinking, you know, maybe Shayna Baszler would be winning this part of the rivalry. So yeah, congrats to Shayna Baszler. The next match we had was it was one of the last minute matches that I did not do in my prediction. It was the finals of the Mae Young Classic. It was between Toni Storm, that I remember, and the other one is from Japan. I forgot her name. Io Shirai. I think Io Shirai. It was a good match. Seriously, I was cheering on for both women. I did not know who to cheer for, you know, so I just cheered for both of them, and it was a very great match. Actually, I gotta admit, it was a really good match. It had all the makings of what Mae Young Classic was made for, you know, to bring bright stars and old stars to come and to showcase themselves and to win this tournament. Who knows, getting a future championship match like what Kairi Sane had. And in the end, it was Toni Storm who won the match. She won the second annual Mae Young Classic. It was a great match, and yeah, I kind of hope that Toni Storm continues on to be on NXT. We already had Mia Yim, who was part of Impact, and now she's part of WWE. So she's doing very well so far in NXT. So I hope Toni Storm will do the same, since she won the Mae Young Classic. Just tell me guys if I'm really pushing this too fast. I'm doing my best to, you know, slow down with the whole results here. Next up is the Battle Royal. For the winner will receive a future Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship, and I was hoping for different winners, you know, like a person who's never even got a chance to go for the Raw Women's Championship or the SmackDown Women's Championship, or it could be one of the old women who've been representing this women evolution. You know, like Ivory, Tori Wilson, the Hall of Famer Alundra Blaze was part of that match. Kelly, Michelle McCool, Maria Kanellis, Zelina Vega, one of the brand new ones, of course. Iconics, Asuka maybe, another shot, Ember Moon. But in the end, it was between Ember Moon and Nia Jax. But Nia Jax won that match, hands down. She won that match. She survived a grueling battle royal through not everyone, but at least some of them in that match. And yeah, Nia Jax will indeed receive her future Raw Women's Championship. I'm sure she's gonna go for the Raw Women's Championship, no doubt about it. But I was still hoping for someone new out of that whole battle royal. So it's not really my opinion. It's what they want. Yeah. So next up we have what else again? Oh yeah. We had the SmackDown Women's Championship, and this was a very good match. Hands down, throughout that pay-per-view, this was the best match. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair in a last women standing match. They went back and forth. They brought the ladders, they brought the tables, they brought the chairs, they brought the announce table. It was like back and forth between them, and both women did their best to stay out of the 10 count, you know. The referee was like so confused of what to do. I mean, he's seeing all these action. Even the fans were watching all this action, and I don't know. It was hands down by far the best match out of that pay-per-view. And you know, Charlotte going off the top. I think it was Becky who went to the top rope. Yeah, no, the top of the ladder. And my, it was one hell of a match. I gotta say, congrats to, in the end, Becky Lynch defended her women's championship in a very grueling match, of course, sending Charlotte through a table that really ended it all. There were a few tables broken, a few ladders. Well, I don't remember whether it broke or not, but we did see some flying action in this match. A lot of flying action. It was really good, but anyway, like I said, Becky Lynch defending her women's championship. Congratulations to her. The next championship match, it was Ronda Rousey defending the Raw Women's Championship against Nikki Bella, who had Brie Bella, her sister, at ringside. Now, this wasn't, well, but to me, I would have to say, it wasn't really much of an interesting matchup. It wasn't a big contest for me, because, you know, Ronda Rousey said best during her, her promos these days. Break her arm, beat Nikki Bella, crush her, as she did. I wouldn't say most part of the match she manhandled Nikki Bella. I mean, Nikki Bella did threw some offense there, but you know, the best part of that match, the only best part that really interests me, was the double Samoan drop that Ronda Rousey did to both Nikki and Brie. That was amazing. And then in the end, Ronda Rousey just doing her stuff, you know, giving those rights and lefts jabs, and then taking down her, and then going for the armbar. That was the end part, and of course broke her arm and defended her Raw Women's Championship. And so congratulations to Ronda Rousey. Now, the final match that I'm gonna say, it is the tag team match between Alexa. Well, technically it should have been Alexa Bliss with Mickie James, but I don't know, maybe Alexa Bliss kind of got out of it at some point. I don't know, they kind of changed the whole thing last minute, where it was just Alicia Fox and Mickie James with Alexa Bliss at ringside against Trish and Lita. Now, like I said, if it was with Alexa Bliss, it would have been a great match. But since Alicia Fox was it, it was like, I wasn't really much excited with the match. Especially when you replace Alexa with Alicia. So I wasn't too hyped for it. But there were some pretty good moves. It was a decent match. I'm not gonna lie, it was a decent match. But they could have built more hype with Alexa in this matchup. But yeah, Alexa did take part into this match at some point. You know, even though she's at ringside, but she took a big part in that match as well. And yeah, but in the end, Trish Stratus and Lita won with a combo of the standing moonsault by Lita and then Stratusfaction by Trish Stratus. That was a good match. So it was a good thing they ended. I don't know, was it the last match? I think they ended up with Trish and Lita being superior over Alicia Fox, Alexa, and Mickie James. So congratulations to Trish and Lita. Welcome back to the WWE and to the Hall of Famers. And to the other Hall of Famers who've done their impression in the Battle Royal: Alundra Blaze, Ivory, Michelle McCool. They've done so well. And some of the legends, the legend women who've done very well: Tori Wilson, Kelly, they've all done well. Congrats to them. Kudos to them. So yeah, that's out of the way. Now next up, we're gonna move on to Crown Jewel. Now, Crown Jewel, there were like a few matches as well that I missed. Like I said, it was a 1 week early predictions that I did for the pay-per-view. So let's just move aside and I'll just tell you which matches that I missed. So first up, we're going to go through the World Cup. Now, the World Cup is to determine the best in the world. Okay, it was in a series of matches. For the Raw side, it was Kurt Angle against Dolph Ziggler, and the other one was Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins. And then on the SmackDown side, it was Miz. It was Miz versus Jeff Hardy, and then Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. Now, all four of those matches were decent heading into the semifinals. Miz against Jeff Hardy, it was one hell of a match. Miz went through to the semifinals, defeating Jeff Hardy, moving on. Rey Mysterio defeated Randy Orton to move on to take on The Miz. And then that match was also decent between Miz and Rey Mysterio. And then out of nowhere, The Miz just kind of rolled up Rey. Or did he roll up Rey? I don't know. I watched the match like a couple of days ago, but I really forgotten because I wanted to plan to make this video after I watched both of them. But since I was like a bit lazy during those few days, you know, I was like tired as well because I went out. So I didn't really have the time to do the results as soon as I can. But I don't know. I just keep forgetting. But as far as I'm concerned, The Miz won for the SmackDown side. He was the SmackDown's champion heading into the finals. Now for the Raw side, Rollins defeated Bobby Lashley. It was a tough match for Rollins. I mean, you were facing a big-headed guy like Bobby Lashley, and you had Leo Rush out at ringside as well. But somehow, someway, Seth Rollins moved on to the semifinals. Now, Kurt Angle versus Seth Rollins. That was one hell of a match. I thought Kurt Angle was going to win, hands down, but in the end, Dolph Ziggler moved on to the semifinals against Seth Rollins. Now, this classic match was also good. Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler. Back and forth. The rivalry brought back again throughout SummerSlam and then throughout other pay-per-views like Extreme Rules whatsoever. It was a good match. Everything was spot on good. Reversals back and forth. Finishers were being done as well, but in the end, Dolph Ziggler was able to win the match, moving on and become Raw's champion. Now, I would think to myself, everybody would think as well, that it was going to be Miz versus Rollins. Ziggler. But with all of a sudden, The Miz was injured during the match against Rey Mysterio, and he wasn't able to compete. So who's going to replace The Miz? Well, I don't know. I mean, Shane, you heard what Shane said. Whoever loses part of SmackDown would be out of SmackDown. Who better way to just replace them with a better superstar? Oh, no. It's Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon waiting out of nowhere, replacing The Miz. And can you believe it? Shane McMahon actually defeated Dolph Ziggler. And he's now the best in the world. He's considered himself the best in the world after everything that he has said to his group, The Miz, Orton, Hardy, and Mysterio. He said it hands down, saying that whichever you wins and heading into the finals, if you lose, you're out of here. So I don't know. I'm just shocked to the matter because I don't know if anyone would ever predicted that Shane McMahon would be the replacement for The Miz, or even win this whole thing, even though he wasn't really winning the whole thing. But either way, Shane McMahon, best in the world, winning the World Cup Series. There you go. Now, the next matches that we're going to talk about, one of the matches that I did miss was the rematch that happened a few days ago. It is the New Day against Sheamus and Cesaro for the tag team titles. Now this was a good match. It was. There were like few tag teams, and they were like a few like distractions by Big Show as well. You know, of course, Big Show was the key factor for Sheamus and Cesaro. And the other side, you had like Big E, who's also strong, and you have Kofi, who's energetic and has the agility, and you have Xavier Woods, who's the hype, and he's like one of the key players as well for the New Day. They did everything they can. They did everything at the end. They get tag team maneuvers. They give so many high flying maneuvers. They did everything, you know. They did everything. But at some point, Sheamus and Cesaro were able to defend their tag team titles, and yes, they walked out of Crown Jewel as the tag team champions for SmackDown Live. So well done. Kudos to Sheamus and Cesaro. Of course, Sheamus from Ireland and Cesaro from Switzerland. Now that's out of the way, the other matches that we're going to talk about now is the Universal Championship. Now, this happened like 1 week before this event happened. Roman Reigns wasn't able to defend the Universal title. It was supposed to be a triple threat match, but unfortunately, Roman Reigns had to go through leukemia. I have no idea. But he had to go to the hospital to go through that disease that he had for a very long time. He fought through with it during those times, and now he has to go through with it again. So he had to relinquish the title a week before Crown Jewel. And then now we just had Strowman versus Lesnar. Winner becomes the new Universal Champion. And this match wasn't that long, actually, to be honest. This wasn't long. Before the match even started, Baron Corbin just smacked Strowman with the title, and then Strowman was down and out, and Brock Lesnar was like all over him. F5 everywhere, all the way. It was like, rather than Suplex City, it is F5 City all the way. It took like 3 or 4 F5s on Strowman. 1, 2, 3, there you go. Lesnar is your new Universal Champion in a quick fashion. In Lesnar's fashion. That's how... it's not really exciting because I was hoping for Braun Strowman to win the title. I wasn't thinking that Brock Lesnar would win. So it was kind of sad to see that, you know, Brock Lesnar winning the title. But I'm not taking anything away from Brock Lesnar. Yes, he is a solid champion, defending the title and representing Raw as his champion. But sometimes I just feel like I want Braun Strowman to win. But either way, Brock Lesnar won. 2-time Universal Champion. There you go. Moving on. Moving on. The WWE Championship. At first it was going to be Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, but since there was like some conflict going on saying that Daniel Bryan doesn't want to be part of the Crown Jewel matchup, so they had that match 1 week before Crown Jewel on SmackDown. They had the title match. AJ Styles won the match by submission, making Daniel Bryan tap out from the calf crusher. Now, and then after that, Samoa Joe came out of nowhere attacking Styles, which made Styles to say to Shane that he wants Samoa Joe. And that's what happened in Crown Jewel. Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. The match was, as always, decent. Of course, I loved how they got to each other. You know, I love how their rivalry started, you know, bringing up Styles' family, Joe always thinking that he's the father or whatsoever. You know, I loved how the rivalry started. And I was thinking that it ended at Hell in a Cell. You know, so... But the matchup was decent. But, you know, I didn't want to see it. And I was thinking to myself, maybe Samoa Joe would win the title. Because, you know, he's had a couple of times trying to take the title from AJ Styles starting from SummerSlam. But no, in the end, Styles became still your WWE champion. What a shocker. It's not a shocker, guys. Styles is still your WWE champion. But there's a shocker as well. I will get to it in a few moments. Now, next up, what did I miss? We had the World Cup Series. We had the tag team titles. We had the WWE title. We had the Universal title, and then came the showdown. The showdown between DX and the Brothers of Destruction. It was one hell of a match. That one was the best match from that pay-per-view, hands down. It was back and forth, you know. Taker going against Triple H with Kane with Michaels, Undertaker with Michaels. It was like rivalry bringing back itself. Like forget them being like not able to wrestle at all. They brought back memories, and it was one hell of a match. I enjoyed every single thing that happened in this match. You know, sweet shit music out of nowhere, choke slams, two storms, pedigree. You had them all. You had everything that really represents why this match had to be made. And I'm just surprised that they'd never even done it in the past. And this is their first meeting, DX versus Brothers of Destruction, in a match. It was one hell of a match. I loved it. It was better than any of the matches before that. I mean, seriously, thank God it was the main event of the match. My goodness, I liked it. Yeah, I mean, I'm speechless. The match was amazing. I even watched it for the second time, actually, because that match was my favorite to watch out of the pay-per-view. It was good. It was high-flying action. It was, I wouldn't say controversial. I mean, the Super Showdown between Triple H and Undertaker, that was controversial, but this one was a definite fair game between both DX and Brothers of Destruction. And in the end, guys, DX has won the match. No, have won the match by the sweet shit music pedigree combo on Kane, which led Triple H getting the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. DX won the whole thing. It was one hell of a match. I was hoping for the Brothers of Destruction to win. Because seriously, I think I remember that one in my prediction that I would go for the Brothers of Destruction, but my goodness. But well, like I say, in the end, DX have won, and I think that's all the matches. But before we go to the Survivor Series, let me check if there were any matches that I did miss from the previous, from my predictions. Let me check. Let me check. Did I miss anything? No, I did not miss anything. Okay, looks like I was right on point with every matches that were going on. Okay then, so guys, if I did not remember how my predictions were, last episode, please remind me again in the comments below if you have time. Also, if you've made predictions and you had more points than me in terms of who you chose to win, let me know as well. If you had more points than me, then let me know, then I'll accept defeat. Now, as we all know, this Sunday is Survivor Series, where it's all about brand supremacy, where it will be which brand is the better brand, SmackDown or Raw. Last year was Raw, hands down it was Raw winning the whole thing. And also last 2 years ago, they had the very first brand supremacy at Survivor Series, and Raw won that one as well in terms of Raw versus SmackDown matches. So now, this year, there's another brand supremacy, which I'm hoping in the end SmackDown wins. I'm really hoping SmackDown this time wins. Now let's go over the matches. First up, we're going through the kickoff show. I'm not laying down. I'm going straight to the point. So the first up we're gonna say is the only championship match that's gonna be on the card. It is going to be Buddy Murphy defending his newly won back at the Super Showdown, his Cruiserweight Championship against Mustafa Ali. Now Mustafa Ali won his place by defeating Hideo Itami. That was a great match. It was. And Buddy Murphy was fresh off his victory against Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight title, like I said, at Super Showdown in his hometown of Australia. It was a great match at Super Showdown. I hope it is going to be a great match here at the Survivor Series this Sunday between Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali. History? They fought before in a street fight match. Last time on 205 Live, Mustafa Ali won that match. And another part as well, they also met during the tournament heading into WrestleMania for the vacant Cruiserweight title. They met before, and so far by those confrontations, Mustafa Ali has always had the upper hand of Buddy Murphy. Now, in terms of who's going to win this Sunday, I know the momentum boost is really solid on Mustafa Ali because he's been competing a lot in a lot of matches recently, and Buddy Murphy has only had only one match throughout these past few weeks. But if I have to say by experience wise, I would still say Buddy Murphy will be defending his Cruiserweight title. I'm not going to say any changes whatsoever. Buddy Murphy is going to win. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not going to change my answers last minute. I'm not going to make another video before Survivor Series about I'm going to change my answers. Buddy Murphy will be my answer. Now, we are going to go to our first SmackDown vs. Raw brand supremacy, which will be a traditional Survivor Series match between the tag team division of SmackDown and Raw. So how this works is that all teams are gonna be together in separate corners, both from SmackDown, both from Raw. You have a lot of teams. You have from Raw, you have the Lucha Party, you have the B Team, you have the Ascension. Yeah, you have the Ascension, and then you have the Revival, and then you have Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. And to let you know, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable are the team leaders for the Survivor Series team. Now on the SmackDown side, you have the team captains, the Usos, you have the New Day, you have Sanity, you have Gallows and Anderson, and you have Primo and Epico, the Colognes. Now, from last year's tag team division, God, did we have a traditional Survivor Series tag team match? No, we didn't have. It was last 2 years ago. Last 2 years ago, Raw won the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series tag team elimination match. They won last 2 years ago. So as far as team goes this year, for this Sunday, so far, if I have to say, I know I want to say SmackDown bad, but I can see Raw has had a great team over there as well. They have Ascension, former NXT champions. You have the Revival, former NXT champions as well. So, as far as I'm concerned, I want SmackDown to win. Basically, all matches I want SmackDown to win. But either way, I'm just gonna say SmackDown's gonna win either way. Doesn't matter how the scoreboard is gonna be like. SmackDown is going to win. But if I have to say for this match, if I have to say by team wise, I would have to say Raw is gonna win this one. Okay, Raw is gonna win this one. Next up, Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, supposedly should be facing Becky Lynch, the SmackDown Women's Champion. But since Becky Lynch got injured during Raw last Monday night, she's now being replaced by Charlotte. Now, I was hyped for Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. I wanted to see whose arm is gonna break, but since it's gonna be Charlotte, for this match, I don't know. Ronda Rousey has it all, even though she's not experienced with WWE, and Charlotte has been like a 7-time women's champion. So, in terms of how this thing is gonna go, like I said, I want to go for SmackDown, but in terms of how this is going, I would say for this one it will be Raw. So Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey is gonna win this one. So it's gonna be 2-0. All right. So it's a big must win for SmackDown. So the next one that's gonna come up will be Shinsuke Nakamura, United States Champion for SmackDown, against Rollins, the Intercontinental Champion from Raw. Now, this is a big dream match that I love to see. AJ Styles and Shinsuke, dream match. AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins, a dream match. Or Styles versus Finn Balor is a good dream match as well. But this is another dream match that we love to see. Now, Shinsuke, we haven't seen a lot of him as of late, defending his title. Oh yeah, that was the one match I forget in Crown Jewel. Shinsuke Nakamura did face Rusev for the United States Championship in the kickoff show. And of course, Shinsuke Nakamura, if you already known from the match card, Shinsuke Nakamura is still United States Champion, defeating Rusev. And in terms of this match here, okay, Seth Rollins had still has problems with Dean Ambrose back on Raw. So I think this distraction might cost Rollins, or Dean Ambrose might be coming over there to distract Rollins at some point during this match. I'm sure of it, it might happen, but I don't know what's going to happen. But either way, in this match, I'm going to say Shinsuke Nakamura, the United States Champion, will walk away with the W to make it a 2-1 lead still for Monday Night Raw. So I'm happy for that one. At least, it's 2-1. Don't forget, don't worry about it. This is why I'm saying SmackDown's gonna win. You gotta listen to me first. So next up is going to be another champion versus champion brand supremacy, where it will be the Bar, the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, against AOP, the Raw Tag Team Champions. Now, AOP just won the titles last Monday night against Rollins, a 2-on-1 handicap match. So in terms of that, the Bar is a 5-time tag team champions. So they have all the experience, and they've been a tag team, well, not long than AOP. I don't know whether, AOP have been a tag team longer than Cesaro and Sheamus. But in terms of championship matches and, when setting the bar itself, I would say the Bar is going to win this, especially to the fact that you have the Big Show at ringside with the Bar, and you just have Drake Maverick with AOP. So I would say the size and the height differential will go to the Bar. That's why I'm going to say the Bar will be winning this matchup. So it will be a 2-2 tie between SmackDown and Raw. So that's good so far. I'm happy for that. So next up, because I'm not gonna say much about the tag team champion versus champion match, but what I do want to know is the Raw versus SmackDown women's traditional 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series. So on Raw you have Natalia, Ruby Riott, Mickey James, Nia Jax, and Tamina. Solid team. That's good. On the SmackDown side, you have Sonya Deville, you have Carmella, you have Asuka, you have Naomi, and one slot it's still empty. Supposedly it should be Charlotte taking over as the team captain, but since Charlotte has been had to replace Becky Lynch for the champion versus champion match against Ronda Rousey, one spot is still open, which means it can be anybody from the SmackDown roster. So with that, I'm not really sure how SmackDown's gonna win. I mean, sure they have Asuka, who of course won for Raw last year. So I don't know. In terms of that, I still think that size is the difference. So I would still say Raw might win this women's matchup, traditional 5-on-5. So it will be a 3-2. Okay. So next up, it is going to be the final one-on-one champion versus champion match between the Universal Champion from Raw, Brock Lesnar, against the new champion. Spoiler alert, guys, to you guys, the new WWE Champion, Daniel Bryan. So it's a new change of match. It was supposed to be AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar from last year rematch. But since last Tuesday, they kind of changed the whole thing with Daniel Bryan winning the title. It is a different thing. Now, in terms of how this is gonna be playing, I'm not sure. Everybody was hyped for this match. Some of them, not all. Some of them were hyped for this match. So, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know. This is gonna be tough to guess. I mean, there's a 3-2 lead. So if I want to say Daniel Bryan's gonna win, it's gonna be very difficult because you're facing Brock Lesnar, unless he has something up his sleeve that he can do to win this match. So I would just say Daniel Bryan might win. Who knows? He might come up with something. Still, Daniel Bryan, WWE Champion, gonna win. I'll still go for him either way. I'm just gonna watch the match instead this Sunday to see who's gonna win this. And now the final 5-on-5 men traditional Survivor Series elimination match. I know I'm taking very long, guys, but I'm doing my best to make this quick. This is the last match. It's gonna be Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Lashley, and Finn Balor from Raw against SmackDown's Shane McMahon, The Miz, Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, and Samoa Joe. Now, in terms of this, everybody, I love all of them in each of the team Raw and SmackDown. But like I said, in the end, this is going to be the finale match. I know it's going to be the finale, and this, in the end, SmackDown is going to make it 4-3 lead and win the whole thing. That's what I'm going to say. Hands down. I'm not going to say like who's going to be eliminated first, who's going to like that. No. In the end, this is how my whole game plan is going to work for me. SmackDown's going to win to a 4-3 lead. That's what my guess is. SmackDown's going to win. It doesn't matter. Miz, Rey Mysterio, Shane McMahon, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, they're all good. I know they will work together at some point, even though some of the egos are there. Raw has the same thing. Egos will be conflict over there. SmackDown will have their egos conflict over there. But either way, 4-3 lead for SmackDown Live. Booyah. We all win Survivor Series, alright guys? Woo. Well, that's how my game plan works. So guys, make sure you tell me who's going to win Survivor Series this Sunday, alright? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll give you my result by Survivor Series. I'll make sure I'll give you my results right after I win. No, right after I win. Yes, right after I win Survivor Series for SmackDown, and also right after I watch the whole pay-per-view, and to let you guys know how I feel about the pay-per-view. So guys, make sure to subscribe to my channel, thumbs up, and also give me comments if you have any any comments at all about any improvements or anything you want me to do in this channel. Let me know, put it in the comments below. I'll leave all my social medias, of course, down below as well, and to my channel, to just have a shortcut to my channel will also be in the description below. So guys, no, description below, sorry, not subscription, description below, my mistake guys. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. The Dashing One signing out.